Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Joana and I'm a green hair weirdo that loves collecting oddities and loves cats. Welcome to my first DIY. I'm really excited about this. I'm gonna show you how to do this frame with a cat skull and a cat jaw. This was really affordable to make. I spent less than 10 euros on everything and it was actually pretty easy to put it together. So before we get into the tutorial, I wanted to say that this is not a real cat skull, this is a replica, and I will leave the link down below in case you want to buy one and do this yourself at home. So I do have a fairly big oddity collection and I do have real bones and taxidermy, but they are all cruelty-free, which means the animals were not killed for that purpose. They died of natural causes. And if you're starting your oddity collection or you want to grow your oddity collection, please consider that when you're buying, to ask how the animal died. You really don't want to contribute to animal cruelty, especially for this, you know? I mean, you can easily find replicas that look just like the real thing, or if you want real bones, please ask before buying. I think it's just the least we can do. I know that some people will find creepy either way if they are cruelty-free or not, but you know, we do have different perspectives on death and please respect that. We don't always perceive death in the same way and it really varies depending on your background, religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs. So just respect other people's opinions and just know that I really do love and respect every piece on my oddity collection, have no doubt about that. So now that we get that out of the way, I really didn't want to go really into what cruelty-free taxidermy is, but if you want to know more about it, you can ask on the comments or I can even make a video about it, who knows, but yeah, let's just move on to the tutorial. The first thing you'll need is obviously a frame. I love these vintage ornamented frames. I got these on a flea market, so it was secondhand and I think it cost me about 4 or 5 euros. So yeah, just go to a thrift store or something like that, get it secondhand so you get it cheaper. If it's not black, you can always paint it, or if you like the color, the wood color or golden, that works too. For the fabric, my favorite is velvet or anything that's ornamented like with that damask pattern. And this is actually a piece of a dress that I had from Hell Bunny. I wore it to exhaustion. It had holes on it, so I was not gonna wear it anymore. And I'm a big fan of recycling and just turning old things into new things. So instead of throwing it in the trash, I just saved it for something like this. See, even the pattern fits the frame perfectly. I was really lucky, and it's satin and the little pattern is velvet and it's really pretty. I really like it. So I spent nothing on that because I already had the dress. Then I bought the skull on eBay. Again, it's a replica and it was really cheap, about 3 or 4 euros. There's different skulls in there. This is a cat skull, but I remember seeing at least another one which was a raccoon and a fox skull, I believe, which I'm gonna get in the future because I have lots of plans to do other kinds of frames. And then you just need a pair of scissors, a chalk so you can mark the fabric and where to cut it, and then just any kind of glue that helps you glue the fabric on the frame. I use the hot glue gun, but you can use any other kind of strong glue that you think that will hold the bone in place.
I'm really sorry if I'm sounding very different. I just thought it was easier to do this as a voiceover than actually being talking while I was doing the frame. So say hello to my cat. She really wants to help me on all my arts and crafts. So I'm starting with the back of the frame and the fabric. I just want to be sure that the pattern looks good. So I'm trying to fit and see how the frame fits on the fabric. Once I'm happy with that, I'm just gonna grab that piece of chalk and mark the edges where I want to cut it. If you have a pattern, it's just a little bit harder because you want to make sure the pattern looks good, but if you have just a plain fabric, it's really super duper easy. You just need to mark the size with the chalk and then cut it with your scissors. You want to give it a little extra room so you can tuck the fabric on the back of the frame. Once I cut the fabric, I'm just gonna glue it. In this case, actually, I'm gonna use a piece of tape, and the only reason I'm using tape is because I have a bunch of this tape just lying around, and it doesn't look as good as if you used glue, because obviously the tape will be visible. It doesn't really bother me because it's gonna be on the wall, so you can see the tape, and this is a really sturdy tape, so it's fine. I just used a bunch of it and I folded the corners just so you can see like that little bump that it will happen because of the fabric being folded, and I just put some more tape over that and just stretched it and make it as flat as possible. Don't forget then when you're gluing it or taping the fabric to have it really stretch, otherwise you'll get a really floppy or wrinkly fabric at the front. Now we're gonna start gluing the skull and the jaw. You just put it as centered or however you like it. I'm just gonna display it with the jaw on the bottom and the skull on the top part. And once I was happy with it, I just grabbed my glue gun and I glued both on the places that I thought they looked prettier. That's basically it. Your frame is done, and it took me about 15 minutes and less than 10 euros.
So yeah, if you have any other questions, please feel free to comment down below. Please respect other people's opinions and be nice. And I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!